You're not broke because you're unlucky. You're broke because no one ever taught you how to think about money. You've been sold a dream, get a job, save 10%, retire at 65. But now you're working every day and still can't breathe. You're not lazy. You're not dumb. You're just stuck in a system that was never designed to make you rich. And if you don't learn how to break it, you'll spend the next 30 years being responsible and still feel like a failure. So if you're tired of watching others win while you grind for crumbs, don't scroll. This is where it changes. Everyone says they want to be rich, but no one wants to hear the truth about what it takes. You don't need another motivational quote. You don't need another side hustle. You need to admit that the habits keeping you broke are the same ones you defend every single day. You defend comfort. You defend distractions. You defend the idea that your time isn't worth that much. And the longer you hold on to those beliefs, the more broke you stay. Because here's what they don't teach you: wealth isn't about talent or background or even timing. It's about how many times you're willing to get punched in the face and keep building anyway. You can't scroll your way to discipline. You can't manifest your way to money. And you definitely won't accidentally stumble into success while watching Netflix at night. Being tired of being broke is not enough. You have to get so disgusted with where you are that staying the same becomes more painful than changing. This isn't motivation. This is your moment to finally wake up. You think being broke is just about not having money. It's not. Being broke is a mindset, and the worst part is most people feed it every single day. They feed it with their excuses, with their victim stories, with every hour wasted scrolling through social media, waiting for some miracle to come fix their life. The truth is, you're not just out of cash, you're out of fight, and that's way more dangerous. You've been conditioned to believe that your situation is permanent, that you were born into it, stuck in it, and will always stay in it. And every time you accept that lie, you reinforce it. Broke is when you say, I can't afford it, instead of asking, how can I earn it? Broke is when you convince yourself that someone else is the reason you're behind. Broke is when you settle for a life that feels safe, but secretly eats you alive. Because deep down, you know you were built for more, but it's easier to complain than to confront. It's easier to play small and pretend it's not your fault. It's easier to scroll, distract, and delay than to sit down, plan, and act. That's what feeding the broke mindset looks like. And it's not about money at all. It's about identity. If you see yourself as someone who always struggles, guess what you'll do? Struggle. If you think money is evil, hard, or out of reach, you'll never attract it, never earn it, never grow it, because your mindset blocks every opportunity before it even has a chance to reach you. Broke people don't just lack money, they lack responsibility. They blame, avoid, and escape instead of facing reality. The truth is, your current bank balance is just a reflection of your current beliefs, and beliefs are learned, which means they can be unlearned, but you have to be willing to kill the version of you that thinks like a broke person, that version that defends laziness, that version that treats weekends like a reward for surviving instead of a window to build. That version that wants success but won't sacrifice anything to get it. You won't out-earn your self-image. You won't build a wealthy life while thinking like someone who's destined to stay stuck. You want to stop being broke. Stop acting broke. Stop talking broke. Stop thinking broke. Start holding yourself accountable like someone whose future depends on it. Because it does. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to hand you freedom. You either grow into the version of yourself that demands more, or stay loyal to the version that's always broke, always tired, always waiting. And if you don't make that shift, I promise, money could hit your account today, and you'd still find a way to lose it. Because broke isn't just what's in your wallet, it's what's running your mind. Until you change that, nothing else changes. People think the enemy is poverty, that the problem is lack of money, lack of opportunity, lack of resources. But the truth is, the real trap that's keeping you broke is comfort. It's the small pleasures that cost you big dreams. The convenience you defend is quietly killing your potential every time you choose ease over effort. Every time you settle for good enough. Every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, you strengthen the chains that are keeping you in the exact same place. Comfort feels safe. It feels familiar. But what no one tells you is that comfort is a cage. And the longer you live inside it, the harder it gets to imagine anything outside of it. You say you want freedom, but you're addicted to patterns that keep you bound. You want more money, but you're not willing to get uncomfortable enough to earn it. You say you want change, but your actions scream otherwise. Because change doesn't come from wanting it, it comes from doing what most people refuse to do. It comes from waking up earlier than you want to. It comes from sacrificing things you like for the life you say you want. It comes from confronting everything inside you that wants to stay the same. The truth is, comfort will give you nothing but regret. Years from now, you'll look back and realize that the shows you binge watched, the hours you wasted, the choices you avoided, all of it came at a cost. And that cost was your future. Nobody ever got rich staying comfortable. Nobody ever built something great from the couch. The success stories you admire, they're built on a foundation of discomfort. Not because these people enjoyed the pain, but because they understood the price of staying the same was way higher than the price of growth. Comfort says, stay here. It's fine. Growth says, go there. It's hard, but it's worth it. And every single day, you choose between the two, even if you don't realize it. You don't need more motivation. You need a decision. A decision that says, I'm done living in the warm, slow death of comfort. A decision that says, I'd rather suffer for my future than decay in my present. Most people won't make that choice. Most people would rather be comfortable and broke than uncomfortable and free. But if you're serious, if you're done pretending, done lying to yourself, done waiting, then start choosing pain. Choose the extra rep. Choose the late night. Choose the early morning. Choose the rejection, the criticism, the failure. Because behind all of that is everything you've ever wanted. But you'll never find it inside the comfort zone. That place only leads to one thing, a lifetime of what if people keep saying they have a money problem. I can't afford this. I'm always broke. I just need more income. But in most cases, it's not a money problem. It's a discipline problem. The money you want is on the other side of habits you refuse to build. It's not that the opportunity isn't there. It's not that you don't have enough time. It's that your priorities are broken. You've trained your mind to chase distractions and call them rest. You've trained your body to avoid discomfort and call it self-care. You've trained your emotions to expect results without the discipline that creates them. And until that changes, nothing else will. You want more money, but you're not managing the little that you already have. You say you need a better job, but you show up late to the one you've got. You say you want to build a business, but you've been planning for 6 months and haven't launched anything. You don't have a money issue. You have a consistency issue. You have a follow through issue. You have a do what you said you would do issue. And as long as those things stay broken, your bank account will stay empty. Not because you're cursed, but because you're not committed. Discipline is doing the right thing even when no one's watching. It's working when you're tired. It's showing up when you feel like quitting. It's following the plan when the plan is boring. Most people don't need more money. They need to master that level of self-respect, because that's what discipline really is. It's respect for your future. It's telling yourself, I'm not going to sabotage my tomorrow because I feel lazy today. But if every time you feel uncomfortable, you quit, you're not broke, you're undisciplined. If you skip the hard stuff and call it balance, you're not stuck, you're untrained. You can't keep making emotional decisions and expect financial results. It doesn't work like that. The people who win, they build habits around action, not emotion. They don't ask how they feel before doing what they committed to. They just do it. They build discipline like a muscle every day, especially when it sucks. That's how you get rich, not by praying for a raise. Not by hoping the economy shifts, but by becoming the kind of person who outworks, outlasts, and outdisciplines everyone else in the room. That's when the money starts to follow. That's when doors open. That's when you stop surviving and start building. Because the truth is, you're not far from the life you want. You're just undisciplined in the life you've got. Fix that and everything else will follow. Most people walk around like the world owes them something, like success is some kind of reward for existing. You hear it in the way they talk. I deserve more. I should be further along by now. People just don't see my worth. But the truth is brutal and freeing. The world doesn't owe you anything, not money, not opportunities, not support, and especially not success. What the world does pay for, what it rewards relentlessly, is value. If you bring real value, you will be noticed, you will be compensated, you will be elevated. But if all you bring is expectation without execution, you're going to stay invisible, broke, and bitter. That's not unfair. That's just how life works. The sooner you kill the entitlement, the faster you'll grow. Because entitlement is the enemy of responsibility. It convinces you that someone else is the problem, that your boss is the problem, that the system is the problem, that rich people are the problem. But as long as you believe that you stay powerless, you stay in a cycle where your success depends on someone else changing, and that's a trap. The only thing you control is the value you bring to the table. And value always wins. It doesn't care about your background. It doesn't care about your story. It doesn't care how many followers you have. If you solve real problems, people will pay you. If you create real impact, people will talk about you. If you build real skills, people will need you. But the key word is real. You don't get points for potential. You don't get paid for ideas. You get paid for execution, for showing up, solving problems, and staying consistent when others quit. And the reason most people never get what they want is because they're too busy waiting to be appreciated instead of working to be valuable. You don't get to decide when the rewards come, but you do get to decide what you build while you wait. So build something that matters. Build the skill set that makes you irreplaceable. Build the character that people trust. Build the discipline that separates you from the average. Because that's what the market pays for, not opinions, not ego, not effort alone, but results. Stop looking for fairness. Stop chasing recognition. Stop needing someone to clap for you just because you tried. Nobody's clapping. Nobody cares. Not yet. And that's okay. do it anyway, bring value anyway, solve problems anyway, get so good they can't ignore you. Not because you demanded respect, but because you earned it. This world doesn't owe you a stage, but it will hand you one the moment you bring value that no one else is bringing. You want to stop being broke, then stop looking for shortcuts and start becoming the person who creates undeniable value. That's when everything changes. You say you want to change, but you keep doing the exact same things that broke you in the first place. You keep waking up late, wasting time, chasing comfort, avoiding the hard stuff, and then you wonder why nothing is different. That's not change. That's self-sabotage in disguise. You can't fix a broken life with the same mindset, same patterns, same excuses that created it. That's like trying to heal a wound by pressing on it harder. It doesn't work. At some point, you have to be honest with yourself and ask, who am I becoming by the choices I'm making every day? Because those choices aren't neutral. They're shaping you. And the future you're heading toward is built by the habits you refuse to change right now. You want a better life? Then you have to get brutally honest about the one you're living. You can't stay tied to the same toxic people, the same lazy routines, the same cheap dopamine hits, and expect a breakthrough. That's delusion. Growth doesn't come from hoping things get better. It comes from killing the old version of yourself, the one that settles, scrolls, avoids, and blames. And that death is painful. That death feels like sacrifice, but without it, you're stuck repeating the same year of your life over and over, calling it progress when it's really just survival. Real change requires discomfort. It demands that you do things you've never done, face truths you've ignored, and give up patterns that feel good but destroy your potential. It's not enough to say, I want more. Everyone wants more. The question is, what are you willing to leave behind to become the person who can handle it? You don't build a new life on top of old habits. That's like planting seeds in poisoned soil. Nothing grows there. You have to uproot what's dead first. You have to clear out the behaviors that keep pulling you back. And most of the time, those behaviors aren't big or obvious. They're small, daily decisions that seem harmless, but add up to disaster. It's not about being perfect. It's about being committed. Committed enough to change your environment. Committed enough to stop entertaining people who don't respect your vision. Committed enough to wake up every day and say, I'm not going back, no matter how uncomfortable this gets. That's how transformation starts. That's how the broke mindset dies. That's how the momentum builds. But none of it will happen as long as you're trying to bring your old self into a new season. You want to rise. You want to escape the cycle? Then stop clinging to what broke you, build new habits, choose new standards, take new action, or stay exactly where you are, trapped in a life that only looks unfixable because you keep repeating the version that failed. If you're still watching this, it means something hit you, not just in your mind, but in your gut. You're tired of being broke. Not just financially, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You're tired of living below your potential and pretending like everything is fine. But this isn't about motivation anymore. It's about a decision to stop repeating the habits, the lies, the cycles that have kept you stuck for years. No more waiting for the right time. No more blaming your past. No more hiding behind comfort. If you want to break the pattern, you need to become the kind of person who does the work daily, relentlessly, and without applause. This is your moment to draw the line and say, enough. So here's your next move. Don't just close this video and go back to autopilot. Rewatch it. Take notes. Cut distractions, build the habits, share this with someone else who's stuck, and then get to work like your future depends on it. Because it does. You're not just tired of being broke. You're ready to become unbreakable. Let's go.